let's jump right into this explainer. For billions of years, our sun has done the exact same thing every single day. It rises, it shines, it gives us light, and it gives us warmth. And, because it's quite literally always been there, most of us rarely ever think about it. But the truth? It's kind of shocking. The sun isn't just some bright object in the sky. It is the literal reason life exists at all. I mean, every tree, every animal, every ocean, and yeah, every human completely depends on it. So let's play out an impossible scenario. What if the sun just disappeared right now? What actually happens next?
Okay, picture this. You're waking up tomorrow morning, your alarm rings, you roll over, check the time, it's 8 a.m. But you look outside the window and it is pitch black, completely dark. No sunrise, no sunlight, absolutely no warmth.
And then, suddenly, every single phone on Earth gets hit with the exact same terrifying emergency alert. The sun has disappeared. Not forever, just for 24 hours. Now, at first, that probably sounds like the plot of a weird sci-fi movie, right? But here is the really scary part. The biggest danger wouldn't actually be the darkness. And believe it or not, it wouldn't even be the cold. The real danger is something most people never even consider. Let's decode exactly what happens to our planet when our ultimate power source just goes dark.
Phase 1. The 8-minute illusion.
So, surprisingly enough, the very first thing that happens is absolutely nothing. Seriously, for about 8 minutes and 20 seconds, everything is totally normal. Why? Because that's exactly how long it takes for sunlight to travel across space and actually reach Earth. That means if the sun vanished in an instant, nobody would have a clue. We'd still be driving, working, watching videos online, just living our completely normal lives, totally oblivious to the fact that our star is already gone.
Phase 2. Day turns to night.
But then, exactly 8 minutes and 20 seconds later, boom, the sky goes dark. And I'm not talking about a cloudy day dark or a heavy rainstorm dark. I mean midnight dark, right in the middle of the day. Imagine you're standing outside at noon and suddenly you can see millions of stars across the entire sky. Within minutes, you can bet social media would absolutely explode. News channels would drop their normal broadcasts, governments would scramble into emergency meetings, and billions of people would start panicking. But that darkness? That's really just the beginning. Now, most people assume Earth would instantly turn into a solid block of ice. But that's not actually true. The reality is a little bit more forgiving. See, Earth's atmosphere acts like a giant invisible blanket that traps heat. Because of that, during those first 24 hours, the average global temperature would really only drop by a few degrees. Would it be cold? Yes, for sure. Dangerous for some regions? Absolutely. But is it an instant apocalypse? Not quite yet. Humanity would definitely survive day 1. Which brings us to phase 3. Systems start to fail. Think about our power grids for a second. Millions of homes, businesses, and massive power stations rely entirely on sunlight. The exact second the sun goes poof, solar panels stop producing electricity, period. And this instantly places a massive, crippling amount of pressure on all our other global energy systems to somehow pick up the slack. Entire countries that rely heavily on renewable solar power, they'd be facing immediate rolling blackouts. And right alongside that, the biological crisis kicks in. Plants survive because of sunlight through a process called photosynthesis, right? It's literally how they make their food. Well, without light, photosynthesis stops immediately. Now, sure, one day of darkness isn't going to kill most plants, but if that darkness kept going, our food production starts collapsing. The plants struggle, the animals that eat those plants struggle, and eventually, even the top predators are facing starvation. Just one missing star quickly threatens the entire global food chain. And honestly, it goes way beyond just biology. Here is something a lot of people don't realize. The sun is the actual engine driving Earth's weather. Rain, wind, storms, ocean currents, literally the whole shebang depends on solar energy heating up the planet. Without the sun, Earth's climate engine just begins shutting down. Weather patterns start changing wildly, massive ocean currents begin slowing down, and very quickly, the planet starts looking unrecognizable. Next up, phase 4, Earth loses its orbit. Remember, the sun doesn't just give us light and heat, it gives us gravity. Right now, Earth is moving incredibly fast around the sun, kept securely in place by our star's massive gravitational pull. But if the sun suddenly vanished, its gravitational pull vanishes right along with it. Earth would stop orbiting instantly. Instead, our entire planet would just shoot forward through space in a straight line. Just wrap your head around that for a second. Every city, every ocean, every person,
all traveling together aboard a giant spaceship called Earth, drifting aimlessly into the freezing, uncharted darkness of the universe. Now, luckily, simply losing our orbit wouldn't physically hurt us right away. But drifting out of our habitable zone, that guarantees a pretty catastrophic end.
So let's quickly recap the timeline of humanity's absolute longest day. At hour 0, the sun disappears. 8 minutes later, the sky goes pitch black. By hour 12, we are living through nonstop emergency broadcasts, total stock market crashes, and just complete global uncertainty. Would we survive this 24-hour period? Almost certainly. The real true danger only comes if 24 hours became weeks and weeks became months, because eventually the food runs out, the temperatures plummet, and mass starvation is unavoidable.
But then, say is 5, the sun returns.
Exactly 24 hours after it vanished, a bright light appears right there on the horizon. The sun is back. Sunlight floods the sky, solar power networks reboot, temperatures stabilize, plants immediately resume photosynthesis, and humanity breathes the biggest collective sigh of relief in human history. But something would have changed forever. We'd finally understand a really profound truth. Every meal you've ever eaten exists because of sunlight. Every breath you take depends on plants powered by sunlight. It literally is the engine of life itself. The sun feels so completely ordinary to us simply because we've never had to live a single day without it. But witnessing an event like this, it would make us realize that every single moment of life depends on it. So, I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. If the sun disappeared for 24 hours, what would actually scare you the most? The absolute darkness, the creeping cold, or knowing that Earth is just drifting blindly through space? Let me know what you think. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and I'll see you in the next explainer.